That's the question every Philadelphia Eagles fan is asking after that Thursday night meltdown. In front of the entire nation, in prime time, with all eyes on them, the Eagles laid down. There's no sugarcoating it. That wasn't just a loss. That was an embarrassment. A flat-out humiliation on national television, and arguably the ugliest performance by this team in recent memory. You'd have to go all the way back to that disastrous Week 4 game against Tampa Bay last season to find something this bad. But at least back then, the offense had excuses. No Lane Johnson. No A.J. Brown. No Devonta Smith. This time, everyone was healthy. Everyone was suited up. And the Eagles still managed to score only 17 points for the second week in a row. Let's start with the facts. They were pushed around, bullied, outmuscled, outhustled, outplayed, and they got beat up by a New York Giants team that, just a week ago, was the laughingstock of the league. A Giants team whose head coach and general manager are fighting for their jobs. A Giants team that blew a 13-point lead against a winless Saints squad and coughed up 5 turnovers in one game. That's the team that just ran circles around Philadelphia. The Giants didn't just beat the Eagles, they dominated them. From the first snap to the final whistle, New York looked like the veteran playoff team, and Philadelphia looked like the one in rebuild mode. It was supposed to be the other way around. But on this night, there was only one team playing with urgency, and it wasn't the one wearing green. And here's the thing. We're 6 weeks into the season, and the Philadelphia Eagles still don't know who they are. There is zero offensive identity, zero rhythm, zero consistency, just a mess of stalled drives, bad reads, missed throws, and empty possessions. The Eagles have now gone back-to-back games without putting together 4 solid quarters on offense. That's not a small issue. That's a sign of a team drifting. This was the part of the season last year when the Eagles hit their stride, when they found their rhythm, built chemistry, and started bulldozing opponents. Not this time. This year, all you're seeing is confusion, sloppiness, and a whole lot of missed opportunities. And this performance against the Giants? This wasn't just bad football. This was uninspired. This team didn't look ready. They didn't look focused. And that should never happen with a roster this talented. Head coach Nick Sirianni is not some X's and O's mastermind. That's never been his thing. His strength has always been preparation, intensity, fundamentals, building a team that's mentally sharp, physically tough, and emotionally locked in. But what we saw Thursday night was the opposite. This team looked flat. They looked lost. And the worst part? They looked like they didn't even care. They couldn't tackle. They couldn't defend the run. They let a rookie running back, Cam Skattebo, run right through them like he was prime Marshawn Lynch. He made the Eagles' defense look soft. That's not a word anyone wants to hear associated with Philadelphia football, but there's no denying it. On this night, the Eagles were soft. And what's going on with the defense overall? This was supposed to be a unit built on depth. Even without Jalen Carter and losing Quinn Mitchell early to a hamstring injury, this group should have held up. But they didn't. They folded. The secondary couldn't stick to their assignments, the edge rush was invisible, and the front 7 got shoved around like they weren't even there. And let's not pretend this was an elite Giants offense they were facing. This was a rebuilding team led by a rookie quarterback, and they still went 11 for 16 on third downs. That's just unacceptable. But the offense, man, the offense, it's a bigger problem than anyone wants to admit. They've got all the weapons. A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, Dallas Goedert. They're all healthy. But the play calling has no spark, no creativity, no flow. You can read what the Eagles are about to do from the couch. And when the offensive line actually holds up, which hasn't been often, nobody is open. This passing game is stale, predictable, flat. And you want to talk about missed moments? Look no further than that wide-open bomb to Devonta Smith. Jalen Hurts had him for a walk-in 89-yard touchdown. It doesn't get easier than that. And Hurts missed him, overthrew it. Momentum gone. Punted the ball away. Giants take it. March down, score. Ball game. The third down numbers are brutal. The Eagles were 1 for 9. The Giants? 11 for 16. That is the very definition of a team that can't adapt, can't adjust, and has no answers when things go off script. Now, let's talk about the front office, because there are real questions here. Did Howie Roseman fumble the offseason? The early signs aren't great. They could have re-signed Isaiah Rodgers. That second cornerback spot has been a mess all year. Adoree Jackson and Khalil Ringo were liabilities in this game. Mekhi Becton signed with the Chargers on a very reasonable deal. He could have helped on that offensive line. Rodgers signed with Minnesota and is starting, playing well, by the way. He could have easily started opposite Quinn Mitchell. But he's not here. And don't even get started on the edge rusher situation. They let Josh Sweat walk, didn't replace him, and now the edge production is almost non-existent. The leading edge sack guy is Zadarius Smith with just 1.5 sacks. He's over 30, over the hill, and clearly not the answer. And that trade, sending C.J. Gardner-Johnson away, that's still haunting them. They traded away a guy who brought attitude, swagger, leadership for what? A player who's not even on the team anymore. Now C.J. is chilling on the Ravens practice squad. But the point is, the Eagles' defense desperately needs that fire, that spark, and it's just not there right now. You watch the tape, and it's obvious. This group lacks passion. Now let's go back to the offensive coordinator situation. Kevin Patullo. It's just not working. 2 weeks in a row the offense has gone missing after halftime. You look at the second halves of the last 3 games, and it's a horror show. Fumbles, interceptions, 3-and-outs, more 3-and-outs, a couple punts, maybe 1 touchdown here or there. That's it. There's no rhythm, no adjustment, no feel for the game. Patullo might be in over his head. So what's the plan? Promote Scott Loeffler? That's the only realistic option because it's almost impossible to bring in an offensive coordinator mid-season. And even if you do, who are you going to get? John Gruden off the couch? There's nobody out there just waiting to fix a struggling offense on short notice. And next week, they're going into Minnesota to face Brian Flores and one of the smartest defensive minds in the game. That's a recipe for disaster. At 4 wins and 2 losses, things might not look catastrophic on paper. But if you've been watching the games, you know this team is on the edge. They lose next week? That's 3 straight. That's a pattern. That's a problem. And more importantly, that's a team going in the wrong direction. It's not just the losses. It's how they're losing. Lack of discipline, dumb penalties, personal fouls, unsportsmanlike conduct, missed assignments, missed tackles, botched kick returns, no consistency in the run game. And when you try to pass, nobody's getting open. It's everything. This is a complete breakdown on every level of football. And this was supposed to be the get-right game, the bounce back, the reset button. Instead, it turned into the most embarrassing loss this team has had in a long time, maybe ever under this current regime. And for Philly sports fans, it was a double gut punch. As the Eagles were getting crushed, the Phillies were falling apart too. In one of the most painful baseball collapses you'll ever see. It was supposed to be a night where the Eagles lifted the city. Instead, they dropped the ball. Hard. Where do they go from here? Because right now, this team doesn't just look lost. They look tired, physically worn out, emotionally drained, spiritually broken. They kept saying, this is a new year, but it looks like last season never ended. Like they're still feeling the weight of that Super Bowl loss. This doesn't look like a team chasing a title. This looks like a team that's running on fumes. Every opponent treats playing the Eagles like it's their Super Bowl. Every single week, the other team is bringing everything they've got. That's the price of being a contender. That's the pressure that comes with having expectations. And right now, the Eagles are folding under it. They got the Giants' best shot, and they got smoked. You want to know how bad things have gotten? Just look at how the game ended. The Eagles had a chance, a sliver of hope, a drive that could have made it respectable, could have turned the momentum, maybe sparked a miracle. But instead, Jalen Hurts throws a pick in the red zone. Game over. And that wasn't some incredible defensive play. That was a throw into coverage, a pass you simply can't make in that situation, especially from a quarterback who's supposed to be one of the leaders of this franchise. Hurts is supposed to be the calm in the storm, the guy who holds everything together. But right now, he looks like he's pressing, like he's trying to do too much because no one else is stepping up. And when your quarterback starts forcing throws and making mental mistakes, it's because the system around him is crumbling. Let's talk about the offensive line. For years, this unit was the engine of the team. Dominant, smart, physical. Now, they look slow. They look beatable. They're not creating lanes in the run game, and they're not holding up in pass protection. You can see it on film. There's no push off the line, no chemistry. Guys are missing assignments, getting flagged, or getting beat at the point of attack. And it's not just one player. It's across the board. You start to miss guys like Mekhi Becton, who could have been part of this line. They let him walk for pennies. Now you're stuck with depth players playing like backups, and it's catching up fast. And when the offensive line breaks down, everything falls apart. You can't run the ball consistently. Saquon Barkley had a couple of nice carries to start the game. 18 yards here, 13 yards there, but the drive stalled. That's the story of this offense. It's all short bursts. Nothing sustained. One drive starts well, but ends with a punt. Another ends in a turnover. They can't string plays together. They can't put together a full possession that actually builds momentum. And when you're constantly giving the ball back to the other team, your defense gets worn down. It's a vicious cycle. Speaking of the defense, it was another disaster. The Giants, with a rookie quarterback and a depleted offense, ran for 172 yards on this unit. That is inexcusable. Cam Skattebo, a rookie who most fans couldn't even name before the game, ran right through the heart of this defense. Untouched at times, bouncing off tackles, making defenders miss, and nobody seemed interested in stopping him. Where's the physicality? Where's the fight? Where's the leadership? This defense can't get off the field on third downs. That's been a recurring issue all season long. And it's not just the scheme. It's not just the injuries. It's effort. It's desire. It's football IQ. The Giants went 11 for 16 on third downs. That's what happens when your linebackers can't cover and your safeties are 2 steps behind. That's what happens when the pass rush doesn't get home. And when you're facing a rookie quarterback, you should be creating pressure, forcing mistakes, causing turnovers. Instead, the Eagles made Jackson Dart look like a seasoned vet. And look, part of this is coaching. No doubt, Nick Sirianni is now facing one of the biggest challenges of his coaching career. The Eagles don't just have flaws. They have identity issues. This is a team that doesn't know what it wants to be. You can't be a ground-and-pound team when you're not running the ball. You can't be an explosive passing offense when nobody's getting separation. You can't be a defensive powerhouse when you're giving up nearly 200 rushing yards to a division rival. But more than anything, it's about urgency. That killer instinct is gone. There's no edge, no bite. The Eagles use a step on your throat once they had a lead. Now, they get up by 3 or 7 points and immediately take their foot off the gas. The last 3 games are proof of that. In the second half, they completely disappear. They get outcoached, out-adjusted, outmaneuvered. You watch those third quarters and wonder what the halftime conversation even was. Because there's no spark coming out of the locker room. It's just more of the same. Slow reads, wasted possessions, and no solutions. And it's not just play calling. It's not just execution. It's both. Every play feels like a struggle. Every yard is a grind. Every third down feels like 4th and long. That's not what this team is supposed to be. This was a Super Bowl contender. A franchise that was supposed to have one of the deepest rosters in the league. But you watch them play now, and it doesn't feel that way. The depth is not showing up. The stars aren't playing like stars. And the coaching staff looks like they're out of answers. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our Philadelphia Eagles. And don't be shy. Share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Whispers have been circulating all week, but sources close to the team suggest that the Philadelphia Eagles have quietly pulled off a move that could shake up the NFL landscape. Insiders claim that the Eagles have finalized a trade with the Cleveland Browns, setting the stage for one of the most talked-about quarterback acquisitions in recent memory. DESHAUN Watson is reportedly heading to Philadelphia. Though the Eagles' front office has remained tight-lipped, murmurs around the league hint that the deal involved a mix of draft picks and player exchanges, though exact details remain shrouded in secrecy. The Browns, known for being shrewd negotiators, appear to have leveraged their assets effectively, potentially securing future talent that could reshape their roster in the coming seasons. For Philadelphia fans, the potential arrival of Watson has sparked a wave of excitement and speculation. Watson, a quarterback whose talent has never been in question, but whose tenure in Cleveland was marred by off-field controversies and injuries, represents both high risk and high reward. Rumor has it that the Eagles coaching staff sees in Watson the chance to inject fresh energy into their offense, pairing him with a formidable receiving core that could make defenses rethink their strategies. Social media has been ablaze with conjecture, with some analysts praising the move as a bold, franchise-altering decision, while others warn it could backfire if Watson fails to live up to expectations. Betting lines have reportedly shifted, and insiders suggest that team morale in Philadelphia is cautiously optimistic, with players reportedly excited about the leadership and experience Watson could bring. While neither team has officially confirmed the deal, the rumor mill refuses to die down. Fans are speculating on everything from Watson's jersey number to how he might mesh with the Eagles' offensive scheme. Could this be the start of a new era in Philadelphia, or is it just another headline that will fade before the season kicks off? For now, all eyes remain on the Eagles' headquarters, waiting for the official word that could finally turn speculation into reality. If confirmed, this move would mark one of the most intriguing and polarizing trades of the NFL offseason, cementing a narrative that Watson's career is entering a bold, high-stakes chapter, and that the Eagles are betting big on a quarterback who could either soar or stumble under the weight of expectation. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Philadelphia Eagles, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.